is this pacifistic son of a bitch?
Hello, good fans of natural Jules, and welcome to the steep slopes of Mount Saana. It's right there. Just gonna stroll a little bit on this mountainside, perhaps take a bit of a glimpse up there in the north to see which kind of conditions there are, places there are, because you can see down there there's quite a bit of snow. This is 1 week before Midsummer's Eve, and there was quite many mosquitoes, and those tinier ones quite nastily on the way here. But once I arrived here and walked this small trail towards this mountainside, there was absolutely none. So I'm fairly positive tomorrow is gonna be absolutely fantastic hike to some location up north there in the wilderness. But good morning, it's very early hours of some day. It's Sunday, I suppose. Yes. And I woke up so early that every place was shut, and I need some place to be open so I can refill my water supply before I enter into the wild. So I decided to take a little drive, visit the Great Northern Sea, and stumbled upon this glorious scenery, as there is plentiful on this route. Astonishing. And listen to that. That is water. Simply water pouring down there on that mountainside. And it's so early that there's barely anyone else moving, so this is great. And in we go then, into the wild. Jules alone in the wild. That brings me back. Actually, that is a fine reference, because the very first episode on these video blogs that I made in YouTube was from the very spot. It was some 12 years ago, I suppose. Even further than that. Can't remember correctly, but anyway, I haven't got any plans. Just gonna walk this, and I hope the wilderness is not as crowded as the parking lot was. But well, there's plenty of it, but I don't have got any maps, so I won't wander off this trail. I'm just gonna head inwards where I was previous time and just enjoy the silence and sceneries, reflect on myself, relax. That's the, as always. Now second time is a charm. I have to double back to the car because I had the peculiar feeling that I left the doors unlocked, which I did. So I head back there, but now once again into the wild. Now they have been building here. This trail is completely new. I mean, last time I was here was 12 years ago, so situations are about to change. And also there was quite many cabins, new ones there, so I sort of fear that this has gone a bit too popular, this place. But let's see how my ankles and knees are coping. This is sort of like a testing of them as well, because this terrain, once we get to the real wilderness areas, real paths, it will eat your feet. A couple of shoes with me, neither of which are very good at this sort of thing, but let's hope that they will be sufficient enough. Damn, it's hot. Very first visit that I had in this place, I think it must be something like 50 years ago, 15. Years ago it was constantly raining and endless mosquitoes everywhere. Now it is complete opposite. Look at that view there. Look at that now there. That thing gorgeous. Just every time I lose my breath in here. And not just only for the elevation differences. But anyway, here's some cottages and lean-tos and whatnot for daytime hikers now. These are all brand new. But anyway, my path differs from here. I'm heading to Kilpisjaervi, which leads to there. Yes, this is much better now. Still a bit too much of those quad bike tracks here, but other than that, this place just calls for adventure, doesn't it? It's glorious, and the weather could not be better. There are quite many of flying insects around, but no females, mosquitoes anyway. None of them are biting. Ah, there was one. Just one. One. I'm not gonna head very far now. I'm gonna sit and relax a bit on this shores of this lake. I don't remember the name of this lake. You can check it on the map if you're interested. Glorious. Now, as you probably remember, in the very first episode of this video blog, on this Kilpisjaervi, Jules alone Malaki, I was talking to you about Lady Finn and how flat it looks in comparison to Norway. It's just there. Won't see here properly, but anyway. Reason why Lady Finn is so flat is because Lady Finn is very old. Geologically, it's very, very old bedrock. This is actually the youngest formations, geological formations here in Finland, this Kilpisjärvi wilderness area, and the peculiar shape of those sauna you cannot see really because it's on this direction, but on that one you can see the shape of it. That is the fingerprint of the last ice age, of course, which removed top of the mountain and, well, scatters it all over the place. And since it came from the north into the south, it scraped it like that. And imagine how vast the ice cap must have been here. It swallowed the sauna whole. Tough going now. Have to find the path through here. I have to actually switch off this recording Malaki because I have to pay attention where I step. So when you choose your shoes on these hikes here, make sure they have got a lot of grippage, as Senior Pilkington might say. Anyway, see you soon. Now there are a few of them bite bits here now as I head into the northern regions, but not too many. I can manage this. Decided to take a little weight off my back and sit in the shadow of this birch just for a while. Play some of my tunes. Because once I head further up there, the shadows will disappear altogether, so much the last chance to get away from the sun. Yes, now you see no more cover from those strawberry trees. All the way up there. There are quite many people coming, but I hope because it's Sunday that they are leaving. Let's see. Anyway, I took a chance on drinking one of the Lapland streams, although there was a suggestion that you should boil or disinfect them. Let's see what happens. Last time that I was here was about a similar time. It was a bit before Midsummer's Eve, but it was not this hot. The sun is really merciless now. To sit in the shadow of this boulder here a bit, it gets my breath. Drink some water, perhaps eat some salty nuts. Wind is picking up, so it will cool things down a bit, of course, but the sun still is. I have to put something over my head when I continue, but that's easily fixed. Oh dear Lord, is my backpack falling to bits? Hold on a minute. This should not be here. It should be like this. I have to botch this quickly, sorry. Yes, there's one seam that is given away. I have to put something on it and I continue, so it will hold it together. Well, that was, I believe it was 15 euros from the flea market, that backpack, so it's done its due. There you go. Backpack is botched, so is my precious dome. Stylish, isn't it? Now it's covered from the sun, so it won't get burned from up there. It happens quite easily. I've eaten some nuts, drinking some water, and cooled down a bit on this shadow. It's time to head onwards. A little bit further, then I think I'll find a nice little stream and I start to cook some crab. Now that I'm confessing about the, not confessing, comparing these trips since I was last here. Like I said, it was roughly the same time, but there was a hell of a lot more snow. I mean, this place, for example, was just covered with snow, and it was at least 10 degrees cooler. It was pretty perfect last time, but now it's a bit too hot for my taste. Despite the appearances, I haven't got faintest drop of Southern European blood on my streams, veins, so I don't much enjoy this heat nonsense. 10 to 15 degrees is preferable, or 0 to 50 actually. If you get closer to 0, then all the insects will die off and they won't bother you. And that is just annoying. I used to be able to enjoy the insects as well, or at least just let them be. Nowadays I'm just a candy ass. I don't know. I hate getting old. But at least my ankles and knees are working. They are not hurting a little bit on the left angle, but very little. I was hoping, was afraid of so much worse. So far so good. Let's keep on going. Up there, over that ridge, the grain beyond. There's some guy coming behind me. I saw him briefly there when I left. So still a bit there and there. There's too much people here now. But anyway, let's worry about that later, shall we? I can see now there, far away in the distance, there are the cabins on the lake, shores of Lake Kilpisjaervi. Now you might wanna think that it's right over there. Just go for it. Just keep your patience. Keep breaks, eat. Because although you can see them, they are still pretty darn far away. At least 6 kilometers, I would say. I think this small lake here was a midpoint on the journey. So 6 kilometers still to go. Rough terrain, heavy load. Next stop, decent stream with which waters I can use to cook some grub. This utterly gorgeous. I switched on some sturdier shoes, although those, what you call it, paladums, something or other, some form of hipster boot shoes. Anyway, pretty decent to walk, but they have been saying earlier that they do look like rubber boots, or Wellingtons, I suppose is the English term. If it's a brand or, but anyway, and now that I walk with them in here a bit longer, they sort of behave like a rubber boots as well in your feet. And rubber bit doesn't breathe that well, so the socks will gather moisture and then you get blisters. I don't know if I got already, but not huge ones anyway. And it doesn't matter because I'm over halfway home. Well, home. Some relaxing time on the lakeside there. Just gonna sit by that lake, wash my feet, perhaps erect a tent and then set off into the rest of the day or night. But let's get into there first. Yes, some rice and some wheat protein. Last time that I was here, I was eating Russian horse. I knew back then that eating meat is bad. I just didn't care. This is much better. This is brilliant. Brilliant. I must show you the bag. It was a dried out wheat protein. Small bag, but utterly good. Had to be just prepared a little bit further than this. Anyway, now there has been quite many hikers going by. I'm thinking alternative route because this is rather popular hiking route. But I don't know. Let's just sleep on it, shall we? Eat first and then sleep. Other plan is that I take a hike through there, through that valley. There's a lake and rather beautiful lake and small cabin which I can then tent next to. There's a path to that cabin as well, obviously, but it's not that popular than this is. But let's just sleep on it, shall we? Let's go to that. Stick to the original plan. Let's see what the night brings. Some reindeer men. They are with quad bikes. Dog. Suppose there's some dead reindeer. Or something. So, thus far I have encountered 20 people. More or less, and one dog. That was far away though, but anyway. But let's still just sleep on it, okay? It's just not throw in the towel just yet. I mean, the sceneries are still getting better and better. So is the silence. I mean, look at this path now. This is utterly ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different paths leading to the same destination. I mean, shows you pretty clearly how popular this path is. I mean, but I've heard that people started to go outside their activities during the COVID pandemic, but this is utter nonsense. Well, all got the right to do this. So now there's quite a lot of insects here. Insects and people. One of them is a necessity to the nature and other one isn't. Anyway, like I said, it's just over there, but since everything is here further than they seem, let's take a little nap, I suppose, in here. And there's some botching to be done. Actually, I cannot botch job this in here because this requires some sort of glue. I don't have it in here. It's all the way up. Look at it. It'll come undone very soon. Fair enough. But anyway. And oh yes, watch job of the day. Number whatever this is. I have got this solar panel charger which doesn't work. I mean, it sends a current, the panels work, the light flickers, ignites there. You can see clearly. But what I've gathered is that this port, as you can see, is rather well worn. I'm trying to clean it up a bit, tune it, and see whether it works or not. That's what you get when you go on the hike once a year. Every year you have been broken, whilst you have been idle. I should do this so much more often. But the distance is what it is. Perhaps I should go closer once in a while. And I will. In autumn time I will go to Seitsemän National Park. At least once. That's a promise to you. here quietly for a moment and contemplate these previous events. And this glorious place to sit. Perhaps even take a nap. Why the hell not? Good night. Well, I managed to mend it. It charges now, but it says slow charge, and it wasn't that slow, and it was a brand new. So I fear that there's only one of those cells is working. There's a connection between them has been severed, I suppose, and there's a weak connection on that seam as well. So it was that what's cutting the charge. But now it's charging somewhat, at least. So I'm gonna sit here a couple of hours, suppose. Take a nap, like I said, if I feel like it, then I'm just gonna play my guitar lele. Guitar lele. What is it? Guitar lele. Guitar lele. Anyway. Guitar thing. And whilst I was playing here, I was contemplating a little bit on human beings, their desire to make noise. I mean, we are utterly good at it. We are by far the best animal of making noise. There are louder animals, but we do it as a byproduct, which is much louder than anything, any living thing other than anything other living thing can manage. I.e. the space rockets, for example. There's infrasounds which are just breathtaking. And it's not just air. We pollute the waters as well with noise. And then I keep carrying this device in here. It's otherwise, well, not silent, but just sounds of nature, really. I'm just gonna play here quietly, very quietly. Perhaps compose a couple of songs while we at it. That's about noise. This was the one that I was talking to you about. Very plain, very simple, just huge potential, nice texture, and it's vegetarian, high protein, good for you. Anyway, tent is now more or less erect. That is my view for the night. Here is the toilet. And there are all the others. This has turned out to be quite a tourist attraction nowadays. This, I suppose the real wilderness starts from there to north. Too bad I haven't got time or ability to do that. But anyway, let's cook some grub, some pasta with cheese and this herring stuff. Good. Note to self, follow to use. These are not hiking shoes. As if someone claimed that they were.